Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Knowlegebox and Cooking. Today I'm going to explain 7th standard English chapter The Ashes That Made Trees Bloom summary. Hope it helps you. If you're watching my video for the first time, please don't forget to follow and subscribe. Let's start the video. In the old days of the daimyos, there lived an old couple who had a pet dog named Moko. Having no child, they cared for Moko as a human child. Moko in turn loved them back like a being with a soul. One day, when the old man was feeding the white heron, the dog ran up to him and tried to take him to a particular spot in the garden. At first, the old man just thought the dog was playing with him, but after a while he followed to the spot. The dog began scratching the ground as if a bone or a fish were buried in the ground. The old man brought out his hoe, struck into the spot, and found gold. Hence, the old couple began rich. They enjoyed a lot and even shared their future fortune with the poor people. There also lived a couple who were wicked and cruel. When they got to know the old couple's fortune, they coaxed the dog into their house and offered him food. However, the dog knew how cruel and insensitive the couple were, and he neither ate nor moved. Then they dragged out in their garden while carrying a hoe and spade with them. As they reached the pine tree, the dog began to paw and scratch the ground. The greedy couple, thinking that a mighty treasure must be buried, started working immediately. However, they found a dead kitten. Losing their tempers, they beat the dog to death and threw his carcass in a hole and buried him. When the old man got to know the news of his pet's death, he mourned for him and went at night under night and paid his respect. That night, as he was sleeping, the spirit of the dog came in his dream and told the old man to cut down the pine and make a mortar and a mill from it. The old man did as he was told to do. He worked hard and finally made the mortar and the mill. As the new year came nearer, he wished to use the mortar and the mill to make rice pastry. With the help of his wife, he pounded the rice when the old woman took the mill and began to grind the bean. Heavy gold coins started falling from it. Again, the old couple had become rich. Meanwhile, the wicked couple was spying on them. They wanted the mortar and the mill, so they borrowed it from the old couple the next day. As soon the old man began to pound the rice and the old woman began to grind the rice and beans turned into worms. The wicked man turned angry and destroyed the tools and used the broken pieces as firewood. Not only after that, the old man had another dream. The dog's spirit came and told his owner to take the ashes of the burnt mortar and mill and sprinkle them on the withered trees to make them bloom. The old man woke up and went to the wicked couple's house. He humbly asked for the ashes. The couple treated him with contempt but let him fill his basket with the ashes. When he returned home, he took his wife to his garden where their cherry tree was withered as it was winter. The old man sprinkled the ashes on the tree and saw that the tree was full of blooming cherry blossoms. Everyone got to know about this and everyone went to see this wonder. The wicked couple also got to know this story and gathered all the remaining ashes and kept it safe. Meanwhile, the kind old man heard that the daimos was to pass along the high road near the village. He took his basket and set off to see him. As the train approached, he climbed up into an old withered cherry tree that stood by the wayside. Even though, according to the customs of that time period, he was supposed to lie down, he was standing. However, the gardens didn't object seeing that he was an old man. As the daimyo's palace queen drew nearer. He sprinkled off some of the ashes on the withered cherry blossoms tree, which made it bloom. The daimyo was delighted to see this and stopped the van. Calling the old man to him, he thanked him and ordered presents of silk robes, sponge cakes, fans, and other reward to be given him. He even invited him to his castle. The old man went home happily to share this news with his wife. However, the wicked neighbor who heard this story took some of the magic ashes and went out on the highway. He climbed a cherry blossom tree and when the daimyo was directly under the tree. The man threw a handful of ashes which didn't do anything. Instead, they fell on the daimyo, and when the wind blew, the ashes flew into the daimyo and his wife's eyes and noses. They sneezed and choked, which ruined the dignity and elegance of the profession. The man was brought down from the tree and beaten to death. Meanwhile, the kind old couple lived a prosperous life.